Good morning, students. Hope you all are fine, fit, healthy, and safe at home. Students, before proceeding for the next poem, let's discuss about the rhyme scheme and few of the figures of speech like simile, metaphor, personification, alliteration, enjambment, symbolism, and irony. Although a bit knowledge about few of the figures of speech and rhyme scheme was given during the poem explanation, yet I have prepared a short note of each of these. So let's discuss this and try to understand in a better way. What is rhyme scheme? Rhyme scheme refers to the pattern of rhyming words used in a poem. A poem is divided into different stanzas or verses. Sometimes people say paragraph in poem, but it's wrong. In poem we write stanzas or verses. Each verse has lines that usually end with a rhyming word and has a rhythm. But sometimes the consecutive words may not be rhymed with each other. In order to identify the rhyme scheme of a word, small alphabets are written at the end of each line. I made you understand while I explained the poem 1 and poem 2. Similar rhyming words are given the same alphabet, and in this way you find the rhyme scheme of any stanza or of the complete poem. For example, you can say, in Rover Frost's Dust of Snow, I had given you that the way a crow shook down on me the dust of snow from a hemlock tree. Crow, this word is rhyming with snow, and me is rhyming with tree. So we have given the letter alphabet A to crow, me B, snow A, and tree B. So the rhyme scheme of this given stanza is A, B, A, B. We never write capital letter, we write small letter, and accordingly, looking at the rhyming words, we put the alphabets. Hopefully you understood, and you can find out the rhyme scheme of any of the stanza, any of the poem in an easy way. Now figures of speech or literary devices or poetic devices. A figure of speech is an expression intended to impress an idea more effectively. A figure of speech can also be referred as poetic device when used in a poem. Poetic device or literary device. First, let's discuss about simile. What is simile? A simile is used to compare two or more things that differ in kind but have some resemblance despite the difference. Even if there is difference between these two things, still then there is some resemblance, some similarities despite the difference. A simile can be easily identified as it is introduced by the words such as like, as, or so. For example, life is like a dream. Life is compared to a dream. Life is like a dream. He was like a lion of the family. Or my grandfather is like a lion of the family. Means grandfather is compared to a lion, but here lion and grandfather completely different, but some qualities like it shows that grandfather must be very brave. This quality is similar. So a simile is used to compare two things, differ in kind but have some resemblance. Hopefully you understood. Next is metaphor. What is metaphor? Metaphor is an implied simile. In a single line definition is, a metaphor is an implied simile. In a metaphor, the comparison is implied. Instead of comparing two things separately, we assume that the things being compared are one and not separate. It may provide clarity or identify hidden similarities between two ideas. Thus, metaphor is an imaginative way to show that somebody or something has the same qualities like another thing. This is what we call metaphor, and in a single line definition is metaphor is an implied simile. For example, there is not much difference between metaphor and simile. In simile, we use the words, we introduce it by the words like, such as like, as or so. But we don't use these words in metaphor. If we take the same example, life is like a dream, it is simile, but life is a dream, it is metaphor. He was like, or my grandfather is like a lion of the family. Here it is simile, but if you say my grandfather is the lion of the family, then it is metaphor. So this is the only difference between metaphor and simile. In simile, the identification is introduced by the words such as like, as and so, and we don't use such words in metaphor. Metaphor is an implied simile. Hopefully you understood. Next, move to personification. What is personification? Fire and ice, poem Fire and ice are personified, and I told you that when any inanimate or inhuman object is personified, given human qualities or human attributes, it is called personification. Personification is giving human characteristics or human qualities to an inanimate object, animal or a plant. The non-human objects are portrayed in such a way that we feel they have the ability to act like human beings. Poets use this device of personification to create a lasting impression on the reader. It is often used in poetry to enhance the meaning and beauty of poems. Now, next poem we are going to study about A Tiger in the Zoo by Leslie Norris. In that also you will find in the very first line, he stalks in his vivid stripes. Here he refers to the tiger, and tiger is personified because for animals generally we use it, but in this poem the tiger has been personified, so the pronoun he is used for the tiger. Next is alliteration. When two or more words close together begin with the same letter and produce similar sounds, we call it alliteration. The repetition of the same consonant sounds at the beginning of words or in stretched syllables within a series of words is alliteration. In Robert Frost, Dust of Snow, I told you that in the second stanza, third line, there are two words, saved some. Both are giving the S sound. So it is called alliteration. In Fire and Ice, some say favor fire. S sound in some say, F sound in favor fire. In the same way, we'll find the alliteration in poem 3. We'll discuss later on. Let's move to the next figure of speech, enjambment. That also I discussed in the poems, that when a thought flows in a sentence without a pause, without any punctuation mark, beyond the line of a line, couplet or stanza is enjambment. Enjambment is used to create different effects in poetry. In Robert Frost's poem, Dust of Snow, the way, beginning from the way till tree, in the first stanza it is enjambment. And second stanza, beginning from has given till rude, it is enjambment. In Fire and Ice, last 4 lines, beginning from I think till would suffice, it is enjambment. Next is symbolism. This also we discuss in the poem Fire and Ice. Fire has been symbolized to desire and ice to hatred. Symbolism is a poetic device which is used to recall something else which has similar qualities. Usually, an abstract thought is compared to some object. It is an object or a word to represent an abstract idea. In Robert Frost, Fire and Ice, fire means it symbolizes desire, ice symbolizes hatred. Symbolism helps create meaning and emotion in a poem or story. Next is irony. When one states the opposite of what one means, but with something in context to suggest one's real intention, irony is used. In a simple language, you can understand that irony refers to disagreement in the statement. If we say something, but our actions or words express the other thing, that is exactly opposite or contradictory to the expected meaning, is called irony. In Dust of Snow, I told you that crow is a messenger of death. Crow is considered as a messenger of death, but it brought happiness in the life of the poet. So here it is irony. Same way we'll discuss about irony in poem 3, A Tiger in the Zoo. This much today. Take care of yourself, students, and revise the same thing. Thank you.